the one thing that I like despite all this, despite everything, the one thing that motivates me is helping people, seeing them happy. If I make them happy, even better. But if they're just happy.
Hello, welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion. There's no Raptor today. He's currently working, but we are here joined by our wonderful guest.
Hello, I'm ZÉ:FF. I'm the owner, model maker, and just about everything for Megabuilding 325.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you and meet you. So thank you very much.
Likewise,
Mm.
very, very excited.
Oh, well then let's get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation then. What are you known for? What got you started? How'd you get into VRChat?
I'm known for role playing. Um, Pretty much, I've joined VRChat to roleplay, so it's pretty much everything I do. And whenever I don't do roleplay, I do something about roleplay. I'll write events, I'll NPC, I'll make worlds, I'll make avatars. It doesn't matter. It's always about roleplay. And I've really just got on VRChat because everything else I was roleplaying on either died out, phased out, or was just not cutting it anymore.
Mm.
Uh, Text roleplay was fun and all. Then D&D at a table with a couple friends, that's cool. But when everybody splits, it's like, what do you do then? And then GTA roleplay, that's cool for a minute, but then what's next? And then Second Life, that's cool, but then what's next? So VRChat was just like the next step. So here we are.
Oh,
And yeah, there's a big step between everything else at this place.
yeah, it's very different from like the text role plays or even Second Life role play. You go from staring at a screen in almost all of them to being in the screen.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I don't just have to type, oh yeah, I'm running for 5 miles. Oh no, I'm running for 5 miles. Oh crap. This is, I don't have the shape to do this. Oh no.
So I'll ask this: how did you find out about VRChat? How did you like learn about it, then get here, and how did you get started role playing in here? What were some of your first places you've been to, or what did you try?
I can't even remember how I learned about VR chat. I think it's just one of those things that, like, out of some video, there's just bits of anything and everything, and then, oh, this thing looks weird. What is this? And then go down the rabbit hole. Because I have no recollection of finding out VR chat. So this is my logical path. Whenever I don't remember something, I just stumbled on it. And ah, man, I just got on because I was like, I'm gonna try it out, see how it goes. But like, you need a headset, you need everything. So this is a very expensive. Just gonna try it out. It
Mm.
better work out, otherwise, oh my god. So I got on VRChat, put the headset on, complete. I was frozen for like in my first very 5 minutes on this game. I get like yelled at and screamed at. I'm like, oh, this is not good. Leave this place. Completely forget about it.
Mm.
Find the Neo's VR of all things. Go over there, have a blast. Close down. Come back here. The whole 9 yard. But man, I'm glad I came back actually.
So from when you came back after Neo's closed down, how did you find role playing in VRChat? What was your first experience with it?
I So I was really struggling to find something for role playing. I really was like searching everywhere, putting my ears to the wall. I couldn't find nothing. And then one of my friends that I met on this game was like, "Hey, do you know about the Dream Tree?" I was like, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, it's a role play. It's an open role play. You can just join in." I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." Do I have to make a character sheet? Is there lore? Is there whatever? It's like, no, just make whatever and just go there. So I have to friend a guy because there weren't groups. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is kind of, I don't know this person. Are they going to accept me? He's like, yeah, I'll be there at first. And so I just joined the Dream Tree. And I have no idea how this roleplay works in VR. I'm not used to any of this. Usually I just describe something or you have an avatar where you type it down. It's like, what is all this? So I just make something on the fly and I test waters with it. It's not really going anywhere, and the Dream Tree doesn't have like story or anything. So I'm like, is this really all there is to it? I don't know, man. And just when I'm about to quit, October rolls around, and I make this funny little spider character where I'm like, this is stupid. I'm just gonna mess around with it for a month, and in November, like, I don't know, either try something new or quit or abandon or whatever. And then I meet this guy that completely falls in love with my character and just sucks me in all of the roleplay groups that were like his domain or something where he was popular and he'd go there. And all of a sudden, I went from struggling to find anything to being completely overwhelmed by roleplay groups left and right. I'm like, oh no, all of this for one shitty character I didn't think about.
Well, sometimes some of the best journeys start with, I wonder if I want to do a thing. Oh, this is the cool little thing. And then off you go on some crazy journey. With VRChat, I've heard of similar stories all the time. I wanted to go to this thing and go to the thing. Then I meet a person. They make me do other things. And now I do this. It's very common here.
Yeah. And lo and behold, I still have that character like what, 2 or 3 years later, and she's my main character, the driving force behind a whole lot of other things that I do, and I'm like, this was supposed to be a joke. Fuck.
So, Mask, in the early days when you got pulled into all the role plays, when you met this person, what were some of the role plays you were playing at the time, and how were those experiences different from what you were doing before VR chat?
So all of the role plays I was joining were all the metaversals. So you make one character in one group, and that character can follow in all the other groups. And I thought that was absolutely insane because usually you make a character and it goes there. It's in this box. You leave it in that box. You want to play with it, you go in that box, you pull that toy, you play with it. And then you want to go in that box, well, start over. It doesn't carry over. Everybody's doing their things differently. So, and then I was absolutely like amazed that the metaverse roleplay was just like, oh, you want fantasy? We have fantasy. You want Sonic? We got that too. You want Superman? It's there. You want sci-fi? Everything is there. Everything exists. Nothing doesn't exist. It's like, what is this? How does this work? What?
Mm.
But it's so sublime. I'm like, it's too insane to miss, but it's got a story, but every group is its own thing. Is like it's a cobweb of complicated but nothing. I was just blown away. You join this server, they have their story, and you're going with that character that doesn't fit at all, and they're just like, oh yeah, come on in. Okay. So one day you're fighting like rock giants, and then the next you're fighting demons, and then the next day you're fighting robots. It's like, what? How? And it just makes sense, and nobody like double second guesses or nothing. So I was like, dude, compare this to, oh, okay, you gotta have a perfectly balanced character, and you can't really have these kinds of weapons because, well, we're not doing this here. It's like, okay, so tell me your lore, tell me your, and then Metaverse is just like, whatever. Okay, and what if I'm overpowered? Don't worry about it. Okay, okay, hold on. And they just, if you're not strong enough, stick with the party. If you're too strong, we're gonna have big enemies just for you. Oh, that's kind of like tabletop, but with way more people. But what is this?
What were some of the groups you joined at the time that you got this metaverse experience from?
I joined Blackstone. I think, was it Blackstone first or Redstone first? Okay, I think it was Blackstone first, and then Misty Shores, the Nook, um, a lot of places that closed down. I can't remember much. Family Engineer, Hidden Haven. Like I joined so many in such a short time. There's names like places that I completely forgot. But man, did I had a good time at a lot of those. And Blackstone was really like the one that I was pushing all of my efforts into because they would just, I'd get home, time to eat, and then get on VR. Because their timing was just like, talk, talk, talk. I was like, oh, okay, I can't miss that one. All the other ones, I'd either get late or I'd have to miss some of it because they started too late. But Blackstone was just like, boom, on the dot. I can't miss it.
Hmm.
So yeah, and they had I never understood their story because my character was not very involved, and I was just still very new and confused about all of that. So I never understood the story. But from what I got, you had demons, you had golems, you had kind of steampunk elements. I was like, okay, this is an interesting concept. Where are we going with this?
Oh. Well, may I ask, what was the character you played in Blackstone?
I played the one that I still play to this day, which is Suki. She is, well, at the time I made her 3 years old because she was originally a spider, and spiders don't live very long.
Hmm.
But the avatar was dripping some black stuff, and I didn't really have any ideas of what that was. So I just decided on a whim, black looks like corruption. Let's go with that. I'm gonna say this, it's dripping corruption, whatever that is. And little did I know that dripping corruption was going to go down the rabbit hole to make this character so damn complicated and over the top. And I was just like, it's just a little spider. Who cares? And I went from this little spider that was completely unaware of anything that was happening to being put up to speed, learning the world, learning like don't shake a hand with a fae, don't give your last name to a demon, and all that yada yada yada. And I was like, I'm learning this as the character is learning it. This is perfect. This is awesome. And she kept evolving mostly through people assuming that because she was corrupted, she could do X, Y, and Z. So therefore, hey, if you say she can, all right, she can do that, I guess. Let's go with that. And she just evolved so much in 3 years right now. She's just the most OP character I've ever had, and I done none of the work for it.
Well, you did some of the work for it if you roleplayed as Suki.
um, I mean, Asuki usually, when I started out, she was just going to be this background character that did little to nothing. Just like, hey, do you need help? And be too weak to even lift like a bottle or something.
Hmm.
But then people and working out with Solace, which was her adoptive father, which is the man that got me into roleplay and all these groups. He adopted her, so that made sense. That would stick with him the whole time. And she was working out. She was learning how to be like normal person. But being a spider, as I didn't think about, was actually a problem for some people in VR because of
Hmm.
arachnophobia.
Hmm.
So we had to come up with some solution to that, drinking some potion, so metamorphosis into something more palatable. Because I never had a problem with having an odd creature be an issue. It always people like you're behind a screen, you see on the other side of the screen, nobody cares. It never happened on text role plays, it doesn't happen behind tabletop. It never was a problem. And I love bugs and odd creatures, so I was drawn to this little avatar thing, but not everybody was. So that was like the first step into, oh, that's what VR really enables. This is so much more than just I'm goofing around. There's actual people there and they're legitimately afraid of this thing. Oh, okay. So I had to get Suki to, be nice, be kind, be presenting, be friendly. And then we switched her body up so people would be less afraid. And then as she progresses, she went from a wimpy little thing to more of an active fighter to nowadays she's more of a tank, carries a shield, always in the front, take all the damage. Like nobody's hurt, everybody's fine. Okay, cool. But like the progression over years, over months was just I never thought it would happen. I thought this was just D&D stuff. And in D&D, you know where it's going. You know the class. You know you need that much XP. You're gonna get this thing, and then you have a choice or two, but that's it. But seeing this insane progression, I gotta make the avatar because, well, it makes sense. She just like kind of leveled up, so she needs gear, she needs a shield, she needs that and this. And it's like, okay, I can't afford to pay someone to make all this. I gotta learn this. Oh no, what is this? What is Blender? What is Unity?
Mm.
Because I never had a PC before. I got a PC for VR chat. So hold on.
So, did you learn Unity and Blender because of VRChat, or did you have experience with it prior?
Oh no, I learned it for VR chat. Back in 2020, I had no PC, no Blender, or no Unity experience whatsoever. And
Mm.
then because I had Silky, and because I needed to have this character with this gun and this and that, I was like, okay, um, YouTube, here we go.
So, what was some of the first reasons that made you want to pick up Unity and Blender for Suki? What was the reason for you to pick it up? And getting a PC for VR chat, that's a pretty huge step.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed everything that I was doing before, but like I said, I needed more. And I was like, what do I do? Do I just wait for Sony to release something on a console, or do I just like, there's nothing else? And if I get a PC, I knew that I could be doing so much more that I'd never done before. I just didn't know what it was, but I knew it would open things.
Mm.
So I figured, well, I'll get a PC. I don't know what I'm gonna need it for, but I'll get a PC. So I got a PC and I got a Reverb G2 then, and I was like, this is not crazy expensive, and I'm blind, so I need something with good resolution. So I was like, okay, well, this looks like the best thing I can get for the buck, so whatnot. And then as I got to roleplay with Silky, uh, going from the spider to the other thing was kind of impromptu. It's like, hey, just take this avatar, we'll go with that, because we don't want to make people actually scared of you right now. That would not good. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah, sure. But I didn't want to rely on people giving me stuff or me having to find stuff. Because at the time,
Mm.
we didn't have a avatar world to search stuff. It's just go out there and try to look for something. I don't like asking for anything. I don't like to be a beggar. So I was like, well, if I don't learn this, I'm stuck with whatever I find. That I mean, that's great and all, but it's very limiting. What if some player gives me a sword? I want to be able to have that sword. Not just go, well, sorry, but I guess she has it, but she never uses it because bullshit reason number 12. So I just figured, all right, well, let's get Blender, I guess. I didn't even know that VRChat ran on Unity. So I just really focused on Blender, and then I'm like, okay, how do I put this here now? Oh no, that's another thing. Oh shit, I probably should have checked that first. So, yeah, no, I just really, because I wanted my character to evolve, I figured out Blender, figured out Unity, at least, the bare minimum. I really don't like Unity. And then got the ball going. And then you want more, so you learn more, you dig deeper, and you make more, and
Mm.
just keeps going.
Okay. So, from those days, what led to Megabuilding, and what is Megabuilding?
I I am a sucker for sci-fi, and my heart is in Cyberpunk.
Mm.
I have watched so many Cyberpunk movies. I've watched so many Cyberpunk series. I've played any and all kinds of Cyberpunk games. If if you want me to play a strategy game, I'll say no. You want me to play a Cyberpunk strategy game? I'll think about it. I might actually tell you yes. So my heart is in Cyberpunk, and lo and behold, I looked everywhere and I couldn't find anything that really was hitting that niche. So I was like, well, I'll just keep waiting and I'll see to it.
Mm.
But then a couple years before I joined Vrchat, I was really into text roleplay, and I was really into really descriptive, text-heavy roleplay, not just a couple lines and then you're done. So I had a lot of starters where I would just post a giant message of like 3, 4, 5, 10 pages. It's like, this is the intro, this is the world, this is how I'm setting this up. Join in and we'll go from there. But all of those things, I started to realize I could put them together and it would make a story. I just needed to fit like a few missing puzzle pieces. And when I moved away from text and I started to roleplay in VR, I was like, this is great, but this is not Cyberpunk. Like, Blackstone was not Cyberpunk. Misty Shores was not Cyberpunk. None of them were Cyberpunk. So I still had my little itch. So at night, whenever I had nothing to do or I couldn't sleep or whatever it was, I'd fill in the blanks on my own little story. And at some point, I was like, hey, I actually got something there. I could do something with this. So I made a world and I made everything with this, and I ran this with some friends IRL as a tabletop game on a system nobody really knows, nobody really plays. It's called Digital Shades. It's like Cyberpunk 2020, but dumbed down on 2 pages. So it's really dummy simple. Let's just run with that and have fun. And I really enjoyed it. And then I figured, hey, I could take this, morph it out a bunch, and put that into the metaverse on VRChat with a bit more loosey goosey because, well, my story only had humans and robots. Now you gotta account for dinosaurs and furries and robots and world ending scenarios. So it's like, okay, well, let's change a lot, but the basic structure is still there.
Mm.
And I, I was also looking for worlds because I had no intention on making a world.
Mm.
But I still haven't found a world for what I needed. To this day, I keep looking. I still haven't found what I needed. Because I thought every roleplay is fun. But every roleplay I'm joining, it's always come in, sit down, here's the story. I hope you've enjoyed the story, leave. What if the world changes? Because what I do in a roleplay doesn't really impact much. It
Mm.
impacts the story a bit, sure, but I don't see any progress. Most roleplay have this map, you get in, you leave.
Mm.
There's a potential there. We could have so much more to it. So what if we start with an empty block, and the more you do, the more adds to it? Now, mind you, at the time I was like, oh, this is easy peasy. Nobody's gonna, like, nobody's done it. Not because it's hard, just because nobody thought about it. No, it's because it's fucking hard. But,
So, what is the story to Megabuilding then, may I ask?
so Megabuilding is, at its very core, a cyberpunk story like any other. It's a corpo against the people. Of course, being on VRChat and being metaversal, it's bloated in many, many ways. But what people are basically going into is Megabuilding is one building on a planet. This planet is the only planet left on a star system. Because it was a twin star, they merged, stars expand, it gobbled up all the other planets. It's like if we were on Pluto and
Mm.
the sun is just. So we're now on this rock, which is the only one still in the system. And Mega Building is the oldest mega structure on the planet.
Mm.
And there is a local population on this planet, but they are insanely strong. Impossible odds against them. They're friendly though, to some extent. So it's like, what is this place? And why are we in such a crappy looking place? What why is everything just gray? Why is everything kind of shit? Why is there fog inside the building? What's going on? And the whole point is figuring out what's happening. What are the what are the sides, who's on which side, what's happening, the corporations, the locals, all the important NPCs, and it's just figuring out.
Hmm. Okay. So, may I ask, what was some of the first events for Mega Building, and how did you respond to players interacting with the world and story you've been building?
The first few events, I was scared shitless because
Mm,
how do you gain traction to present something that is empty?
mm,
When I started Mega Building, all I had in this entire world was one room with a bunch of guns and a bunch of crap laid around, and everything else is dead empty. And that's the point. Because if you start with everything, then what do you get later? But at the same time, how do you get interest or nothing? So I was really scared. I was like, this is never going to work. Who in their right mind would want to come to this nothing? So I was really like trying to make social events for people to just come in and be like, what is this? And keep them long enough to get events going. It's like, hey, you got to ping. There's a container somewhere. We need it. So how about you go and get it? And the first few events, it's like, oh, I have 4 players. Oh my God, this is so much. I can do so much with this. And you
mm,
run an event, being the only DM, the only NPC, the only everything, quickly realize that, wait a minute, when I'm behind a table and I can just roll my dice and be like, oh yeah, you got like 3 enemies and you got 2 on your ass. But I am here. I am the only person. Oh shit, I was not prepared. Hold, wait a minute. So you combat numbers by size, and you're like, okay, that's fine, but now I wanted like regular soldiers, not a mech. Oh fuck. Oh no. So everything is just like such a struggle. But then, oh, you have another player, and it's like, hey, what if we need more? Like, what is there? Oh, give me an idea. And then they just give me something. It's like, hey, we need this. All right, I'm gonna make it. And then I'll make the event about it. So if a player is like, hey, we don't have a bar, that'd be great. Cool. I sit down, model the bar. And then once the bar is done modeling, I'm like, all right, so you guys, um, I don't remember what I did for this bar. I think it was you gotta go down somewhere, unlock some features down in some room. It gives you a key gives you access to a computer gives you access to a camera is pointing at a dead wall. That makes no sense. You might want to go and look at that wall.
mm,
And when they did, they found out that the wall was, it wasn't a wall, it was more like a hologram of a wall. And when they walked in, boom, we have a whole bar. Everybody's going like, whoa. Like, cool, that's nice. That's what I want. I want you guys to be wow. I want you guys to be happy and be excited and be like, wait a minute, what is this? But to get
mm,
there, you need to have people and they need to be interested. So you have to nurture that drive for more. And now at this point, we're growing. We have a bar, we have a guild room, we have a security room, a detective room, we have like a bunch of stuff. So it's at that point where it's like, I know I can make what they want, but we're starting to have so much. What is it that you want? There's still plenty of room, and I can keep expanding this world for so much. This world is like, what, 30 megabyte? I can keep going. But what is it that you want? Because I myself have a story, sure, and my story is very loose, but the world itself depends on the players 105%. I
mm,
have ideas in my mind of what I want, but if my players don't want it, I won't make it. So
mm,
I will, at the best, I'll make a propose like, hey, this is what I have in mind. Do you guys want that, or that? And whatever it is they vote for, that's what I'm gonna model. That's what I'm gonna make the event for. That's what we're gonna do. I've been wanting prison cells for over a year, and every single time I put it in a vote, it's always second or below. It never is picked. I'm like, all right, I guess we're not having prison cells.
Well, that's a pretty unique way of going through a role play group of building the world for the players and based on their decisions. Like, I've been around a little bit. I haven't role played as much, but I think there's another group that does something similar, but they do like a VR D&D thing. Um, person who runs its name is Angel, and Angel's like has an entire world they built out similar to you. And whenever the players do a thing, like we want to put a camp right here by the ocean, they build the camp by the ocean. There's only one other group
Yeah.
that I know of that does a similar thing to what you're doing here, and it's a pretty cool way of doing it. Hello, friend. I hope you're enjoying the current video. We'd actually like to inform you that we do some other shows and content as well. We have a whole bunch of interviews from the Metaverse Degen podcast, which you can find over in the main YouTube channel or on Spotify. We also do a D&D actual play called Hold My L, which you can find on the same Metaverse Degen network channel as well as Spotify under Hold My L. If you're interested in either of those things, we create other shows and plan on making more in the future. If you want to check out our social media to find out when those new shows or other stuff we're doing is, feel free to go to metaversedegen.card.co. We have all of those links for you to watch, and we also have a Patreon over there as well, where we have been posting the pre-show content for Hold Mile. So whenever like conversation or talk about things, maybe lore or whatever's going on, we post that over there as well. As well as we every once in a while pull stuff back from the vault from episodes long gone that are no longer on the channel. We'll post them every once in a while over there. Like for example, we have the old one where the first ever episode we pulled the Raptor on. But we'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to those who have supported us over at Patreon, such as Extra Tricks, Rosen, Aliquum, Future Oracle, and Forbidden Zero. Thank you all so much. You're amazing, and enjoy the rest of your video.
Yeah, I mean, this is what makes VR chat so great. I've never had the power to do anything like this before. I mean, sure, I could tell people at the table, but those were my friends, so I can just be like, hey, you know the McDonald's at the corner of that street and that street? It's kind of like that. Who cares? Then you keep going. But making it, it's like, oh, I have ideas in my mind, but I gotta put it to show. And then I have a certain theme going on. We're metaverse, but mostly cyberpunk, but metaverse. So kind of want to have a little bit of everything. And so if it was just of me, I would never put like any magical crap. But it's metaverse. I want to be open. I want to be inclusive. So then it's like, wow, how do you model like a staff? I don't know. I want to have a magical staff. What the hell even looks like a magical staff? Wait a minute. So you just add and add and add. And aside from one room, aside from two rooms, everything in this world has been decided and made for the players. I have rooms for some very specific players that were like, hi, I want my corner. Hey, if you want your corner in this map, that's perfectly fine by me. I have a template. You fill that template, that is the event that we are going to run. I'm going to take my couple staff members. We're going to read what your filled out template. It is whatever it is that you want, as long as it's in relation with what you want me to build in the map. So you fill that out. We're gonna run that event, and when the event ends, I put the update to that map, and your thing is here. Isn't this the most insane thing? You tell me something like this existed 10 years ago, I'd be like, nah, there's no way. And now I'm making it.
So, from those early days you were telling us before, like when you had the four people and you kind of convinced them to keep on going, how did the early players respond to the evolving world idea, Mask? Like when rooms started appearing and you started getting them involved, how did they react to your grand idea for roleplay, man?
I mean, at first, it was just a bunch of friends getting together because friends supports friends.
Mm.
Nobody else is interested in a void box. So they come in, they're like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a role play. You want to join?" I guess. I don't know. There's nothing. It's like and then they just stay for 10, 20 minutes, and then they leave because there really isn't much to do. And friends just go, "Oh, well, it's fun. I see the concept. I like where it's going, but you need more." It's like, yeah, but I need more because I need you guys. So it's just such a struggle. But then one friend just goes, "Hey, what if I don't remember what was the first thing? I think it was oh yeah, the very first thing was yeah, we know those are stores. but like, what do they look like? What's the point? What's the thing? Because the whole point of this very floor on Megabuilding was that I wanted players to have stores. As in, if
Mm.
you're role playing and you want to buy a sword in character, wouldn't it be nice if you could go in a store, role play buying the sword, and the person behind the counter can actually make that sword for you, and you have it for real? I've never seen anywhere doing that where you role play getting something and you actually get the thing. So I was like, okay, well, if you want to see what that looks like, I will make my own store and you'll see how that happens. And I guess they didn't really believe me at first because when I made my store, it was like, wait a minute, what? What is, okay? There's nothing, but it's so much. You know,
Mm.
it's like my whole store has like maybe 5,000 polygons in it. It's nothing. It's really nothing. There's like three materials. Well, maybe more, but whatever. All these materials are 1 pixel, so it's nothing. But at the same time, being told, "Hey, I'm gonna do it. This will have an impact. You will see it, and if you want a part of it, you can." They were like, "Okay, we got something. We can go from there, right?"
Mm.
So I started to have a bit more of an intrigue, having more like, hey, this is Suki. You know Suki. She's everywhere. She's my gal. But then there's this guy, Savo. You've never heard of him. Suki, which is strong enough that she can punch a tank and flip it, is actually listening to this guy. There's something going on, right? You want to pick that up, maybe? And they were like, oh, okay, there's something there. So that got the gears grinding and going forward a little bit. And then another player goes, "Hey, we don't have X." You are right. We don't. We might just have it next update though. And then you do
Mm.
it, and they're like, "Whoa!" And then I'm like, "Yes, that's what I want." And I keep doing it.
Mm. Okay. So from when you had the concept and idea to see it evolving to what it is now with like store floors and an office upstairs, how did you feel seeing people interact with it?
To be honest, it's not going as I originally planned, but I really had this rose tinted vision where because all the role plays I was going at, everybody was buying stuff in roleplay, in character. So it's all just make believe. And I thought, for real, if I make a place where you can come in and have a store, and you deal with that store however you want. If you have the knowledge to make it, you make it. I have a few like requirements. Don't blow those. I will put that in the mat. That's up to you. I don't care. And I thought it would be booming. Like overnight, everybody would come in and be like, "Oh yeah, I want to have a store and I want to role play my character and all of this and that." And then time passes and nothing's going on, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm making more for this world, but I'm not seeing anybody interested in making their things here. They don't want to sell their stuff." I'm like, this sucks. And the more time passes, the more I feel like, man, the really big point that I wanted was the stores. The story was just gonna be like, yeah, there's a story, who cares? But the stores are not picking up. Well, shit, at least I got a story, so put that on overdrive. Alright, gotta really fine tune my shit because stores are not working out. And and then people get a bit more interested and a bit more interested. And now, oh, we have a bar. We have a detective. We have this little neat little plaza thing and a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. It's like, all right, we have a thing going. It's no longer just adding up as I'm doing, like, people want more. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got this. And then at some point, it's like, guys, I can keep going, but I'm gonna need help. I can't do the events, write everything, model
Mm.
everything, and just do everything. We're gonna have to have a thing here, guys. And then people got a bit more invested. It's like, hey, what if we had a template? All right, Brilliant idea. Thank you. I'm gonna write a template. You can have your stuff if you want. What if this and what if that? And then the ball gets going, and you just get like so lost into it. It's
Mm.
just second nature. I get off of work. I read all my messages. I'm like, okay, this is what I gotta do. This is on the list. This is what I'm model. Blah blah blah blah blah. And model, plan, look for worlds. That is the one thing I still have to do. That is like every other role player. I still have to find a world to make those events in, because as nice as this place is, can't really have like a mission here. Doesn't really make. I mean, I guess now we can, but like I still have to grind worlds, find them, find the avatars, get what I can in there. But at least if a player comes around, it's like comes to me, it's like, hey, this thing is really cool. Could we have that? Yes, we can. I'm just gonna go in that world, take a bunch of pictures, and then when we go in that event, we will go in the world. You will see the thing. You just have to grab it physically, and I'll put the update. It's there. There you go. Boom, bada beep. These chairs come from another world on Vrchat that I completely forgot the name of.
Mm.
And I was like, we are going in a bar. We are talking to some guy about some shady stuff. And then magically, because I didn't have a reason to it, these chairs are here now because I like the concept and they're easy to do.
Oh,
So
so
it really just went from random stuff to
mm,
like, if you want it, I'll make it for you specifically because I just want to fill out this world. I want this thing filled, but I don't want to do it for me. Making them happy, making them interested, making them like, oh shit, it's in here, is what I want, not the thing itself.
mm. So how has the story evolved as the players played it over time from when it was that box to when rooms started appearing? How did the story evolve as people joined and interacted with things?
Well, at first, it really was just Maisuke and Savo. Savo being the corporate leader, the one that
Mm.
owns the building. He owns the entire star system, which is just one planet and one star, but he still owns it. He still has the money for it. And I was like, this is good and all, but Suki, she's one character, and she's one known character, and she's one very specific character that she's extremely limited. I like to balance things out. So yeah, she's very powerful, but she's also very gullible and kind of dumb. So the story can't be driven by her. And this corporal guy, he needs to be mysterious. He can't just be known for everything. So then, uh, my original story, that's all it is. You have this big corporation. You just try to understand that guy, but I can't only have two. So then you have to introduce another person, which is, I guess, was an NPC in my original thing, but not really. So now it's gotta, oh, well, I gotta take this, flesh it out, give it life, give it an avatar, give it this and that. It's like, okay, cool. And now I keep thinking and I keep talking about the life force on this planet, but I never showed them. I'd like to do that. Ah, crap, that's a lot more details that I never cared about, because in my world, they're androids, they're robots. But what I did on my table, it's like, oh yeah, they're robots, they can just nick you and don't worry about it. You are not prepared. But over here in the metaverse, I need to have a reason to have these people be so strong. Oh shit, how do you stop like entities that can come in, snap their fingers and end the reality to be afraid of these people? Oh crap. And then in like, I don't remember when, but I had one player that his character was really strong and I knew he was, and I was like, yeah, just join in, it's all good. But I didn't want this person to be bored because every encounter could just be like, oh yeah, it's easy, I don't care. So how do I? This was really my moment where I'm like, what do I do? I can't keep going on my script because what I did on my tabletop does not fit what we're doing here. I really need something solid. And then at that point, I kind of just took my original script and I went, this is a good baseline. It's a good bone. And whatever it is else going from there, I'll just add meat to that bone. At this very point, my original idea, we're still kind of following it, but we are far and wide. Like, we are no longer on a trail, we are on a 6-lane highway. Like, it is. It's very convoluted. It's very, well, not convoluted, but it's very, like, my story was a lot more simple with a few friends around the table. But having, like, 20 people, 20 players, somewhat constantly come here, you adapt so much that it's like, okay, so we have this faction, we have that faction, we have this guy, we have that guy. All of this is kind of part of the original plan, but never to this extent.
Mm.
So at this very point, I know how it's gonna end because every good story ends. But
Mm.
how we get there at this point, I don't even know. Because I'm just going off of what the players tell me and how they react to this and that. And I just go, whatever happens when we reach this point, this thing needs to happen. Everything below that, well, at this point, I don't know. We're just freeballing. If I make the latest event that we had last Tuesday, we had like the local population just clear one block of this building, which is a really enormous thing. Really, like nobody expected that because they've been kind of friendly this whole time. They just come in, it's like, hi, hello, how you doing? Okay, good, see you, bye. But they came in, they wiped the floor with an entire section of this. Everybody was like, wait a minute, why? Because two or three events ago, you guys killed one of them. This is retaliation. So now I'm kind of waiting. I'm like, what are you guys are gonna do? What do you guys plan to do with this? Are you just gonna sit by and wait? Because if you guys just sit by and wait, I gotta think of something else. But if you guys start planning for or against it, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with that. So
Mm.
as of right now, my story 105% depends on the players, as much as the world depends on the players too. I'm not really guiding anything anymore. I'm not railroading anything. I'm literally just listening and waiting. And I take all these little things that I hear and I cat them up. I just go, okay, this is my fun box now, and I just pull this one. It's like, all right, we're doing that now. I guess it has nothing to do with my original script anymore.
I remember we had a chat uh with the one shot roleplay people, and one of the ways they do their events is they do global events. It's not tied to, well, they're tied to certain factions in the world, but it's not like this is an event for you. This is like this is an event for everybody. It's like who can attend to it can, or you could ignore it, but it still affects everything around it anyway. Like for example, let's say, let's go with a Fallout reference. The the nuke in the center of town in Fallout, you can either go for it or do stuff. Whatever that is, that's the event for everybody. People can interact with it or not. It's there regardless of whatever you do. It's a thing that's going to happen, and that's kind of how they do some of their events, which maybe is something you can adopt. Like for example, the retaliation. Well, they didn't do anything. Maybe you have them go a bit further, have it affect the building as a whole, or whoever the denizens are, and whoever attends to it can or not, but it still happens.
Yeah, that is something that I've had in my mind for about a few months now,
Mm.
like more than a couple. But the problem is, when I originally made 325, I thought I was gonna foster like a community first, you know?
Mm.
I thought first it's gonna be a community of people that make assets and wanna role play and sell their stuff, which I would not be like, I wouldn't be important. I'm just a person that makes the world and puts stuff together, but I'm just a player amongst everybody else. That was my original idea. And then it turns out nobody was really interested in having a store, so then you gotta make the storage, you gotta make the world, you gotta make everything. but I still thought it'd be like a community. It wouldn't be like me at the top working and people coming to enjoy. I thought it'd be like, oh, we all work together as a community project, a
Ah.
group project. But as it turns out, I had a couple staffers that were kind of eager to go, hey, I'll help you out. But then when they saw the workload and everything that I do, they were like, well, I can't really help much. So they kind of just stepped back. And I completely understand. It's like, it's perfectly fine. I understand that what I do, I wouldn't do it for anything else. You tell me 5 years ago that I'd be doing all of this right now, I'd be like, I don't know, man, that doesn't sound like me. I don't think I'd ever be doing all of that for this. But here I am. So
Mm.
just very recently with my brother from another mother, Solace, who is the one that got me into VR roleplay in the metaverse. He joined this place and he saw that I was just completely overwhelmed. And he decided to step in and help me out because he's running servers too, and he's helping in so many other servers as well. He's just like me. He's a workhorse that just loves to give and give and give. But then he saw that this place is great, but I can only do so much. Megabuilding has always ran on Tuesdays and no other day because I can only do so much that we have a social where I didn't do anything, and then another one where I didn't do anything, and another one where I didn't do anything. And then eventually it's like, okay, I got everything done, we can do one event. But this is a really slow process. It's really slow going. And Solace was like, if you get help, we can do so much more. So at this point, if I have an idea, like, oh, I heard this player talk about that thing, we should make that thing. So then I take Solace and I'm like, yo, we gotta write something and I'm gonna start modeling. So as he writes the missions, I can model it. So now I'm like twice as fast. Like look for worlds, look for avatars, I'll look for world, I'll look for avatars. We sit down, we discuss, like, okay, with this and that, and then boom, we're done. It's twice as fast, but we're still just two people.
Mm.
And then we get another person. Now we're three. But the other person doesn't want to do, how can I put it? Uh, authoritarian levels. You know, it's like, I don't want to be here to tell players you can't do this. I don't want to be here to tell you this is what you do. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, so you can host, but to a point. So it's only been very recently where I can have a social and split from that and have an event.
Mm.
But I don't have like 30 people constantly coming here. I don't have any mandatory, you need to be here. You come and you leave. You want to come every day, every Tuesday for 6 months and then never come back? That's fine. You want to come every once in a while? That's fine. But because I don't have any limits, I don't have any basis, people come and go as they wish. And my numbers fluctuate, so I can't depend on any number to do anything. So on a Tuesday, I might have 6 players, and the next one, I might have 30.
Mm.
But it's hard to have more than one day, and I can't always split my party, and it's so like
Mm.
out there. It's so foggy. And I myself don't like to go to people and be like, please help me. I can't do this. I will drive myself to the bone doing it myself before I
Mm.
go to see someone else and ask them to help me. So as of right now, we are sometimes splitting on Tuesdays to be like, hey, if you don't want to join that event, that's fine. We have one person that's here that can help you out, that can run the social. And then the others can go on that event. But that's not every Tuesday. And when it happens, usually it's like we have like one or two people going on a social. The other ones are all going on a mission. So like, what's the point? We're still very out there, foggy. I really wish to solidify this at some point, but I don't
Mm.
want to be one of those people that's like, you gotta be here at least dot dot dot. That's not the point. Roleplay's meant to be fun and
Mm.
stress free. You don't want to have to do something. So until I can figure that out, it's gonna stay extremely foggy and extremely
Mm.
like
Well,
out
you don't have
there.
to tell people to show up, but you can promote yourself. There's a lot of people out there who enjoy role playing who may very well enjoy a world that evolves around them. That's not something you see often. I'm sure as people want to role play their character, their metaverse character, whatever that may be, and see a world as evolve as they interact with it, there's a lot of people out there who would enjoy that kind of thing. So just promote yourself. You'll find people who would enjoy to come up. And to the whole not wanting to reach out and ask for help thing, I'm the same way. I understand very much so. Like I do a lot, and there's a couple times some people offered help, and it's like, oh, but sometimes there are people out there who would, if you ask for help, would happily help you. Like as I've Degen grew in time, I've most definitely found myself with people who would want to help as much as I do. But if you never ask, you may never find yours.
Yeah, I mean, I logically I know you're right.
Mm.
I don't know if it's emotionally or whatever, but there's something that just blocks it. I did in the past do a few kind of silent announcements in the servers, like, hey, if you're interested, I'm open, whatever. But I never really extended anything. There's something in me that doesn't feel right with it, and I keep to myself and I keep driving it. Of course, if a friend of mine's like, hey, I want to do like X, Y, and Z, by all means, man, go ahead. You're my friend, I trust you, and all that jazz, but I'm not gonna come to you and ask you to do jack shit.
Mm. Well, one of the things that we did with Degen, for example, like the first person we brought on as staff, was built from a necessity of what we were doing. Like, for example, at the time, I couldn't schedule things for shit. And I get very enthusiastic very easily. You come to me with ideas like, Lion, stuff of things, stuff of things, stuff of things. And I get just excited to go, fuck yeah, we'll throw it in the schedule today. And I found myself doing interviews. And I think one day Raptor had enough of my bullshit. We had 8 interviews in a row, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. So it was like 12 hours we were recording stuff in a row. And Raptor's like, I can't fucking handle this anymore. We need someone to fucking work the calendars and yada yada yada. Schedule. Keep your ass from doing this again. I'm not doing this again. And a friend of ours, Courtney, stepped up and agreed, and she's been doing amazing since. So we needed someone to help keep us on track, that was the thing we needed as it came up. And someone stepped in. We allowed them to fill the role, and they've been doing fantastic. I can't see anything without them. So my suggestion to you in the front of like building staff, you don't have to like say or demand people do a thing, but it's like, hey, I'm looking for another modeler, or I'm looking for a DM to pay attention to players as they take actions. I can't be everywhere at once. But someone help me write notes and keep track of players and just kind of throw those things out there. You may find people who may see it rewarding to role play and help at the same time.
Mm.
It's like throw the things you need, see if anyone wants it.
Yeah, no, and I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I guess I just needed to hear it,
Mm. Coming from a
because,
person
like
who's
I
the same
said,
mindset as you, once I started getting help, it enabled me to do a lot more. Like I,
oh, yeah. No, I fully agree. I know that I am maxed out. I got school
mm,
because I lost my job, so I went back to school. I got another job to pay my bills. I'm doing this almost full time, modeling, finding the worlds, writing the thing, writing my script that is dependent on all the other events, adjusting things. Like, thank God for ChatGPT to help me out fill the blanks at some place, because I forget so much. I took a hit to the head and my memory's been shot for a while. So, like,
oh,
ChatGPT, can you remember what happened over there? It's like, yeah, this. Oh, thank fuck. Okay, cool. All right. Like, I know I'm maxed out.
mm,
And I just keep telling my players, hey, one of these days I'll be able to host more than just on Tuesday. I want to do more for y'all, but I cannot. And I don't know. I guess in my mind, I was like, if I work harder, I'll make it happen. That's not how that works. I'm already at the end of it. I'm already maxed out, but I don't know. Hearing it from someone else that does like me is just fucking balling it all the way. I don't know. I guess I'll see to it maybe tomorrow or something.
Let me share a bit of my story that may help you. When we first started doing interviews, the person who handed it over to me, like the Degen wasn't my idea to begin with. A friend of mine brought me. It's like, Lion, I want to do a thing. I need your help doing the thing, and eventually kind of grew into like a broadcast. He left to do work, handed it to me, and I was like, you know what? If this is gonna be a thing, I'm gonna take over. I want to do something with it. And so eventually we pulled people on, we started growing. I got enthusiastic, and it's like, for some dumb reason, I thought we could do 3 to 5 episodes a month or a week. That's what we're doing. We're doing five. And so we recorded five, and eventually I burnt myself out. Like, I was really, really, really close to just calling it quits because I cannot work a day job, keep up with 5 episodes a week, and then continue it. So, like, first year and a half, 2 years, I almost just dropped it. Eventually, though, because I came back, and it was that time in which we got the Courtney who helps us with the schedule on, things got easier. Whenever I over scheduled, she's like, Lion, what's going on here? Move them. Too much. And it's like, oh, you're right. There's too much here. And having that staff
Mm,
enables me to keep on track. Since then, I haven't been burnt out nearly as much as I was before. And because I have people to keep me in check, as I'm being an over enthusiastic idiot 90% of the time, I'm we are able to do a lot more of what we're doing. So as you grow, having staff to people help you isn't a bad thing. It Having people to help you, and like especially since you want to enable the community, allow your community to help build and create more with you. It may help unification. People see they're a part of something, something to be proud of. And so as they grow with you and they take part, whether it's building the world or help DMing, they can point to the world and go, I help here. DMing, that's me. I take notes. That's my job, and I enjoy it. And they can be proud of it. The same way as you build the world with them, you do the same thing with having people help, because it gives them a sense of
mm.
unification and purpose.
I mean, yeah. When like I said, when I originally started, I thought this was going to be a group project. That was my
Mm.
goal. I just wanted to be like one person amongst all of this. Like my idea was I'm just the name that's hosting this thing, and that's it.
Mm.
I guess over time I just went like, well, no one's doing nothing, so I guess I'm gonna do that. And then, well, that worked, so I'm gonna do more. Oh, that works, I'm gonna do more. And, and now, honestly, I can't shit on the community. It's great. It's amazing. These people they make this place come to life, and nothing here would be here without them. But you look at the Discord, we're not really talking. We're just waiting for next Tuesday, whenever we all get here. It's more of a this person makes events and we join and it's great and we have a good time and then we leave. Then a group project.
Mm. Sometimes building a community starts with you. One thing I did to try and make our Discord a bit livelier is I would sit in the Discord call and start interacting with things myself. Eventually, people started joining the Discord call and started interacting with things, and eventually it just grew to a life of its own. So maybe sit and hang out on your Discord, interact with people, at people, even if it annoys the crap out of them. Yes, Solo, I'm referring to you. Just at people, say, hey, how you doing? Yada yada. Now that Solo thing's kind of a joke, where I'll make announcements and just at Solo anyway. Do things like that. Just sit in your Discord call. If you're working on stuff in the world, pop in the voice chat. If you see the general dead, say good morning, or hello, how you doing, or hey, what did you do in this specific event or instance again? Just at people in specific things and start talking to people. As people see their interactions, they'll interact too, and it'll then grow a life. It takes time though. A lot of the time when it grows with a growing community, it does take a lot of time. Things don't just like appear overnight sometimes, even though you want it to. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we all have this magical fantasy in our head, right? Where it's like, oh, is this gonna work?
Hmm.
Yeah, but when and how? And how quick? Because I legitimately made this thinking, oh, I see all these other servers that just boom in such a short time and everything's just like grandiose and like overnight. Like, you guys weren't even a thing like 3 months ago, and now you got steady 20 players and more. Holy shit. But then I get to it and it's like, oh my god, wait a minute. That's I thought you just snap your fingers and everything's going. What is this? I gotta work for it? What? But yeah, no, I mean, when I started to have my first players that weren't friends, that were just like, oh, I know you from some other roleplay, and they joined here, then I thought, I need to have more. But I don't know why in my mind I was like, it's just not gonna work if I just go there and I'm like, hi, I have this server that has nothing in it. Would you like to join? So I made partners. I made like roleplay partnerships with other servers thinking, hey, I can provide you. I can write events. I can find avatars. I can find worlds. And in turn, if you would be so kind to come to my place, that would be great. And I've made a lot of those deals. I really made a lot where every night I would be on Vrchat and it was to find avatars, find worlds, be an NPC, help with this server, help with that, go to that meeting, go to that meeting. And then only on the Tuesday I'd be hosting my thing and I'd get like two, three more players from all those groups together. I had two, three players. I was like, I got three players. I don't know where these people are from. Holy shit. But after so long, it's like I have more partners than I have people. I don't know how that's working. My math gotta be wrong at some point. What is this? So then cut loose, cut loose, cut loose, cut loose. But then that brings nothing back. I just have more time, but I have more time to do what?
Well,
Although, admittedly, the one group that really, really helped me out is Resurrected Mercenaries. I saw those guys at Project Community on the second year, well, on the
mm,
first year that I was there. And I was like, you guys look like such a bunch of goobers. Do you want to have fun? Because I have ideas, and you look like a lot of fun. And they've been coming here steadily ever since. So, like, they really
mm.
made this place pop. But, oh my God, man, if they weren't there, holy shit, I'd be like,
This place being a metaverse roleplay, there's something other roleplays I know do, like for especially in the PvP community, they'll do crossover events. So instead of doing like I'll help you if you help me, have some of those partnerships be how about we take our two worlds and combine them for an event or two. And then people from those events, whether what people in your community and theirs will merge for a bit, then people who wouldn't be here normally would be here for whatever event that is. Like a group that comes to mind right off the bat that I'm sure would love to do something probably would be the Helldivers. That's a spacefaring community. I'm sure they love to come here and act like goobers and then moose or whatever, or even stay.
yeah,
Give it a shot. Reach out for some
yeah,
other people. Collab, collab events.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go back to RM, but whenever I said, "Hey, help me out, and I'll help you out," and you get, give me some people, and I'll give you some manpower work. And at some point, I only tried once, so maybe I should try that again. But at some point, I was like, "Hey," because they were making an event, and I was there to pad up numbers, and also because I really like their events, they're really fun. But I was
Hmm.
like, what if I make an announcement in my server to join those goobers and make something really cool? And then nobody showed up, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a dud. But hearing it now, maybe I should put more effort into trying to do that again.
Hmm.
Because those RM guys really, really, really deserves it.
Hmm. Well, keep on promoting, keep on building those partnerships, role play with people, build events. Consistency will be your best friend in growing. Even if it's only one person, as Raptor told me earlier on, and it's stuck, which is even if you have one person, it's still worth doing. So when it comes time to it, a lot of people need consistency. So for example, with content creation, if you post videos every now and again, those people will have no idea when to tune into your content. They don't know when to do it. It's like, oh, it's one day in October, and then 3 weeks later we'll do another and stuff like that. But if you do like every Tuesday is when it goes up and it goes live, it's like that for a year. Even if there's only a few viewers, but if you, over time, people who enjoy it will talk about it. Every Tuesday, there's this really cool event that builds the world out as we interact with it. And it's like it's every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Because it's consistent, people know when to join. Tuesday at 6, whenever it is. And they'll know that that's when it is. Keeping it consistent. You don't have to burn yourself out to do it, but just like keep it going, promote yourself, invite collab events. Maybe Helldivers come down and land on your planet and something happens. Something exciting, something different. Maybe there's a big PvP battle between them and the other crazy aliens that you have here that you said are super powerful. Who knows? Maybe Terminids show up. Your computer be like, wait, what's a Terminid? And then they'll come over here and they'll hang out and come check it out, and then they'll interact with the Helldivers, and maybe Helldivers will see your world like, this is cool. Or whatever. Sorry, Helldivers, I'm picking on you, but I like you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah, I checked a few videos of those guys. They do look like a lot of fun too. If I wasn't so freaking busy, I'd go with right. They're like, it's a cycle. Like if I wasn't so busy, I'd be busier in other ways, you know. But I know what you mean. I don't know, man. Just hearing about it just makes me think. Yeah, no, give it more than just one shot. The one thing that I can applaud myself is to be steady. Because ever since I started this thing over a year ago, every Tuesday, without fail. It's Christmas, I don't care, I'm hosting. I've done it.
And I applaud you for it, man. Honestly. Consistency, especially earlier on, is really hard, and especially it's easy to get disheartened starting out. Hell, I felt it growing with Metaverse Degen. Like if a year into it, as I said, I almost quit. Like I was just starting, like there's no one here. What's going on? Why am I even doing this crap? Like I'm burning myself out for what? And eventually, it just took time. After a year and a half, I started seeing, oh, maybe it is worth doing. And I started meeting more people, and now we're at now. If I listened to me a year into it, I would have never gotten this far. So my biggest advice for you is, you're into it. You've barely seen anything yet. Keep on going.
Whoa. Really quick. Hi, I'm here to interrupt the episode. If you're interested in learning more about Vrchat creators and communities across the platform, you should check out Nova Notes podcast over on YouTube, Spotify, and many other platforms. It's my podcast. I run a podcast as well. Hi, my name is Nova Player. I gotta go. Don't have much time. Gotta go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't planning on stopping, but I would be lying if I tell you that it doesn't cross my mind where I'm just like, fuck it, man, I can skip a week or two, who cares, you know? But then I'm like, but I want to see people happy. And like, it only happened once or twice, but people came to me once or twice and they told me, hey, I really had fun at that event that one time. And I'm like, what if that event is this week? I can't skip it. And what if, you know, because I like years and years ago, I had a really terrible thing that happened, and I was like, I need something. I don't know what I need, but I need something. And I just came online to a random friend, IRL, and we were just talking about this and that. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I needed. But when I host, even on like Christmas or whatever, it's like if you have, when everybody's happy, but you have had a bad experience on Christmas, what do? Everyone's having a good time. Everybody's partying. Everybody's together with friends. What do you do on Christmas? If Christmas makes you sad, well, if Christmas happens to be on a Tuesday, I'm here. You can roleplay and completely forget about everything that's behind. I mean, there's just going to be you and me, maybe, but I'm here. That's an option. Because the one thing that I like, despite all this, despite everything, the one thing that motivates me is helping people, seeing them happy. If I make them happy, even better. But if they're just happy, so good. And I really want to help them. I want them to be invested because they're like, oh my God, I helped with that. Like, oh, I thought about this. They're so like eager and that makes me going like, oh my God, he's happy that I made this for them. What the fuck? So like, I just keep doing this because of that. It's a roller coaster.
Mm.
It's like, when I started, I never thought I would give a shit. I really thought it's going to be a group project. I can leave, I can stay, who cares? As long as, like, someone holds the project of the file on Unity, who cares? But, like, the more I do it, the very few people that come to me to tell me, hey, this was cool, and hey, can we do this? And then they see the thing that I did for them, and it's like, man, this is a drug.
I'd say one of the most rewarding things is running a community, especially I'd say in VRChat. Something I say a lot is some of the best end game VRChat content is running a community or something for other people and giving them the same experience that made you enjoy this so much. And that extends out to every other game out there, even World of Warcraft. There was at one point, regardless of the game, where you came in, you became addicted to it for whatever reason. For you, it was roleplay, and you came in for roleplay, and you became addicted. You're still here, obviously. So now that you're running your own community, now you can build and provide that very same thing for other people, and now other people can enjoy the very thing that made you so excited, and you're providing that for them as well. So it's a very rewarding thing. At least I think so. And then you get to relive your first time through the eyes of another.
Yeah. No, yeah. You mentioned that, and this is one of the reasons why I worked my ass to make the template that I have.
Mm.
Because I don't know how so many communities out there do their events. Like, I've been NPC on many, many, many communities, but it's mostly like, hey, you need me, you call me, I'm there, but I'm like not necessarily part of the server or anything. I can NPC. I've been NPCing for a while. Give me something, give me a little bit of background, I'll NPC, and then I go. But I was like, if a player wants to have their event, they need to have some kind of direction. But if I want to help some guy in another server that's completely unrelated to me, that might not even be related to Metaverse Roleplay at all, like, I want to be able to help, but I don't want to spend so much time doing it. So then I really thought, what is it that you need to make a roleplay event? There's a minimum, there's a maximum. We can play with this. We can have a thing. So I really, really worked my ass on that template. And now I'm pretty sure I could give that template to you. You'd have like however long you want, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take that long. And you'd give it back to me and I'd be able to run that event and everybody would be happy at the end of the day because it's bulletproof, it's simple, and it makes you think. It's like, because like when you walk in a world, when you walk in a room like this, what is it that you smell? What is it that you hear? What is it? It might not be important. Maybe nobody will ask what it smells like, but maybe it will. Maybe you would have never thought about it. There's booze here. It could smell like something.
Mm.
If nobody cares, then nobody cares. But did you think coming here that this could have a smell? Not me.
Mm.
But that template can make you work on it. And it's like, it's only 3 pages, but 3 pages of like mostly nothing. This is a thing, fill it here. This is a thing, fill it here. And now if I have like resurrected mercenaries, if they want to have an event and I'm like, hey, if you don't know, if you've like foggy, you can use this. I don't know if they ever did, but it's there. They have access to it. All of my players, you want to have an event? You want me to run the event for you? You have it. And all my players, if you see someone out there that wants to run something, take it. I don't care. I made it to share it. That's
Mm.
what I want. Maybe someone else out there is using it. I don't know. But like, I worked really hard on this thing to share it, to spread it, to make it easier for everybody, to make people go, hey, that's great. Who cares if it's coming from me or not? You're happy with it. I'm happy.
Mm. So, over the year that you've run Megabuilding, what have been some moments that have stuck with you, like with the community? Is there anything particular event, any particular story, any specific thing that happened that has stuck with you or been a memory you enjoy?
There is one event where I still didn't have many players. Like, I have my friends, sure, but like players coming from who knows where, I had like 2 or 3.
Mm.
And I had more partners than I had players at that point. And I thought, I want to do something that I have never been a part of and I've never heard anyone do. We've talked about cross community like events. That's cool, but usually you have one community and the other one community. That's great. What if there's 2? Wait, I can bump that. What if there's 4? Well, my fingers don't work. 4. What if there's 5? And all these communities have their own agenda in that very map. Not everyone can win. If this one wins, that one loses. If that one wins, that one can still win somehow. So I had no staff, so I really just sat down with myself and I wrote and did this and did that, and then I invited those people, those communities, and yeah, of course they were on par because they were like, yeah, this sounds cool. And when I made this, the way I ran it is like, you know how you run your guys. I'm not gonna tell you how you run your guys. You run them. This is your objective in this map. You don't have any NPCs. You don't need so. You run your guys like you run your own event, and that's it. And then I went, you run your guys. I'm not telling you how you run your stuff. You do it. Same to you. Same to you. Same to you. Nobody knows each other's like objective. You know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. Do it. I'm only here to patch holes if needs be. That event was absolutely crazy. I thought it would be like buttery smooth. Everything's going okie dory, and everything's like, yeah. I was running everywhere and just going like, okay, this is good. Okay, no, wait, you can't do that. This is fine. You can do it, but this is gonna change something. And I was just like running everywhere. But at the end of the day, I got these 5 communities that did not know each other at all or barely, and they all had a blast for like 3 hours. It was nuts. This is like the one thing I don't think I'm ever gonna forget was running crazy, drenched in sweat for 3 hours, patching this and that, all while being on calls and leave this call because I gotta join that server to be on that call, be like, hey man, and just holy shit. And at the end of the day, everybody's like, this is so cool. Is there gonna be one next year? Now wait a minute. Hold on. Put a pin on that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that another year. That was just the best. It really was. And then I tried the year after and I completely botched it. But, different story.
Mm. Well, you win some and you lose some. Sometimes one grows through failure, so even if things bad go wrong, there's always a positive to pull out of it, a lesson to be learned.
Oh, absolutely. See, that event that failed the next year, I was relying on one tool. We have this tool in this world. If you do down and up with your joystick, depending on whatever controller you have, you'll pop up a menu
Mm-hmm.
over in this world. That's a GM tool. I can't claim that I've made this. Silent Prof made it, and I've just been using it in my world. But in the other event that I made, the one that failed, don't ask me how and why. but 100% of what I was doing relied on this menu working, and it didn't. But I had no way of knowing it wouldn't because for me, it was working. The icons were moving, things were working, everything seems fine, but I had completely built my event on that tool working. So when it didn't, I was completely frozen, unable to do anything. I was just like, oh no. Because unlike the previous year where the map was kind of big, but I had an avatar that would allow me to patch holes here and there and go, that event, I made the world and it was huge. Like, not huge in loading size, but huge physically. I couldn't be everywhere. I couldn't tell anything to anyone. I was really relying on being able to broadcast. And all these groups had their own voice calls. They weren't in mine. So when that menu failed, I was like, oh no. Oh no. And then everything kind of just went 20 minutes after the beginning of the event, it would have been done. Because one group just beelined the objectives while the other ones were chilling and some others were doing this and that. And I was like, my pacing that I had planned cannot work because my tool does not work. And I've learned from that. I've learned that I can't rely on one thing. But, I mean, you can only learn when you fail.
Mm.
And that was a big fumble.
Mm. So, how did you move forward after that? What did you learn and do differently after that happened?
Well, the cool thing is that every single of my events I record and I watch the next day when I edit it and then I upload to my channel. I do it mostly just for me. I don't really care. Like if you're here and you want to see yourself, you came into my viewer, I'll see you, you're there. It's cool. But I like to rewatch because a lot of times I am dead focused on this thing. What's happening here? And it doesn't exist. I am really like hyper focus on right here and then here and everything else I don't know. So some people come to me and they tell me things and I thought I answered them. I didn't, or sometimes it's the opposite. So like watching these videos really saved my ass. But when that event failed, I shit you not, I completely like I got off VR, I cried for a while, I was like, this is the worst fucking thing I've ever done. What the fuck? And then I talked with Solace. And I was like, wow, man, I'm never doing this again. And Solace was like, hey, just how about we watch that video together and we put our thoughts to it? Because Solace was there. Solace was running his group and he did his thing his way. And he understood things that I wasn't there, like his POV, my POV, and all that. And then we got Vultures, which was running another group, and we were just like, okay, that and that and that. And I had a good time rewatching it. And then I realized it doesn't matter if I felt like it was dog shit. These two were having a good time. And I'm pretty sure that the others were also having kind of an alright time. Was it grandiose? No. But it, like, the failure was from my understanding. So I figured, okay, you know what? I aimed for the moon, relying on one rocket. If that rocket fails, you ain't reaching that moon. So how about you aim for the other town, and that way you can go on a car, on a bike, on a bus. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
I don't feel so pressured. I don't have to be so narrowed. And if I feel like shit, maybe I should ask them if they're having fun. Because maybe they are, and it's just in my perspective. Because at the end of the day, that event, although I call it my worst failure, seems like a decent amount of people enjoyed it. So,
You know, I've had a lot of conversations with DJs, for example, and one thing I've picked up from them is a lot of the time when you make a mistake, when you mess that transition up between the songs, no one else is gonna know. A lot of the time, the things that fail from your perspective, the fail trans- tr- a failed transition, the song BPM is different. Only you're gonna know that. Only you're gonna notice it. A lot of the time, everyone else enjoying the show, just enjoying the show. So bear in mind, sometimes when the world is falling apart in your perspective, for everyone else, it looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, I did decide that, if I do it next year, because at this point, I might as well.
Good for you.
Megabuilding has been running for a bit over a year, kind of 2 years. And I'm not steady on this event. Whenever it happens, and that's it. But I'm not doing it too often because that's a lot of work. But I decided next time, if it happens, I'm not making the world. I don't need to. Why would I? I really put myself through and through to make the world, to have every spawn be different for every group, and who cares? At the end of the day, we can all have one world. I can move players. Say, this is your group, you guys over there. This is your group, you guys over there. And from that, just have fun. Because I really want it to be this grandiose thing, but it doesn't have to be. That's the point of this event. It's a bunch of groups that get together to have fun. The bunch of groups is the thing that's grand, not the thing itself. So next year or so, if I do it again, I'm gonna sit down with these group leader, whatever group it'll be, probably Resurrected Mercenaries, probably Solace's group too, maybe a few others. And I'm really gonna go like, hey, do you have ideas? I'm open. Let's sit down. I don't have ideas. Let's make a thing. Let's find a world. Do you know worlds? We could look for a world. I don't need to be the one that just makes everything and shoot for the moon. Because that really hurts when you feel like you fucked up on something you worked so damn hard on. I don't want that.
So sometimes when you build something grandiose like that or build something on your own, sometimes seeing it come to fruition and people use or enjoy the thing you built is just as enjoyable regardless of the outcome. For example, I'll use Degen as an example to kind of as a metaphor. I may not see the views I want to see, but there are a lot of people that are proud they've run an interview and they'll tell their family, they'll tell their brother and sister, they'll have it up on their link tree. And is it the views I want? No. But to them, it's everything. I think it's worth doing. One person is proud they're on a thing. We started a D&D show, doesn't get a lot of views, but one of the players shared it with his family and his brother watches all the time, and he's proud of it. Fuck, it's worth doing just because of that. So the same thing with you when you build these things. Don't discourage yourself from building or creating because what ifs or something bad happened. There are people in your community that would enjoy the thing. If there are people with that big event you hold every year have enjoyed it year before and they asked to come back, you've done something, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we humans always focus on the bad a lot more than we focus on the good. Like the good, we just yeah, whatever. But like I said, it didn't happen too often. I think it's only happened a handful of times that someone came to me and told me, "Hey, whatever was really awesome or good or fun or whatever." Like good comments you don't hear. Like I could post a million videos on YouTube, but I'm not gonna get a comment that's gonna be like, "Oh, this was awesome." Someone's gonna shit on me a lot more than they're gonna tell me something's great. But when it happens, it's like I should never forget this because this is what's driving it. And yet I do because I'm just like, oh no, it wasn't perfect. And then sometime later, you're just like, wait a minute, hold on. It's just, it's hard, you know?
Never forget those few people that tell you good things. Those comments. I remember my first one. I was actually when I was gonna quit. I was sitting at work with my finger over the delete everything button, and a friend of mine who left Vrchat to go to college and built real life stuff, and he sent me a message. and it said, every time I watch a channel, I feel like I'm with a friend group again. We had like a 30 to 60 person community. We'd hang out all the time, and people are going to flood off. And just hearing that from them, I never forget it, which kind of then puts me in a check. There's always that one person watching you help that Degen helps. I may not know them, but there is that one person I know. One that is probably on a ship somewhere in the ocean right now, listening to this on the downloaded episode. For that one person, good enough for me.
Yeah.
As Raptor says, and I'll share it again with you. You just have one. It's worth doing.
I mean, you say it now, and I'm just thinking about me alone on the Christmas when I was like, yeah, nobody else on Christmas, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it. What if? But then I forget when there's other like events that I feel like shit. You know, it's like it's it's the same coin, but I don't see the other side.
Mm.
Because I will host on Christmas. I don't know when it's gonna be this year, but like if it's on a Tuesday, you can bet your ass I'm gonna be here hosting for roleplay with nobody. Because I'm like, what if there's one person?
Mm.
And then things go to shit and I forget about that. But you know, it's a good
Yeah.
reminder and I'll try not to
Yeah.
forget.
One of the things I do on Christmas myself is my family always does Christmas morning. Yeah, big breakfast, presents. We're all split off by noon, and then after that, I usually sit in VRchat. Had some friends who don't celebrate or may not be able to. It's like, I'll just go in VRchat. I'll go on Blue, and whoever joins, and I'll just celebrate Christmas with them in the afternoon. I had my morning. Let's join someone else. I don't know if someone's going to join me or not, but I do it anyway every year. And with that being said, even if you do it and no one's there, there'll be that one person who does join. Really shitty day. Family didn't show up, or maybe they don't have no family. And because you did a Christmas event for them to enjoy, you made their whole year. And as Raptor says, if you just have one, definitely do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, what do you want me to say? Yeah.
Well, and I'll ask you the last couple questions before we wrap up. And the first is the name you have in VRchat. Where'd it come from? And how to use it.
ZÉ:FF?
Yeah.
ZÉ:FF, I was in my first year in high school. I didn't have internet at the time.
Hmm.
First things first, I live in a small town in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, the 2008 recession came to my town 3 years later. That's how remote we are. Like, everything here takes time. We were watching the news in 2020, people going, like, what is this pandemic? And we're like, what? So, um, I didn't have internet, but everybody, when I was in my first year in high school, were coming up with these weird names, and I was like, what is this? What the what? And I don't know, I was not paying attention at all in French or English or math or whatever class it was. And I was thinking, like, what sounds sci-fi, is short, has a bit of a punch, and you can't really forget. And I was trying this and that and this and that. And somebody not too far away from me hurt themselves and they went like, I don't remember what they went with. And that just snapped in my head. ZÉ:FF. Oh shit, that's cool. I like that. And ever since high school, ever since that first year of high school, I've been going everywhere, everything. That's what I'm going with. Sometimes it doesn't let me put the exclamation marks. I'm like, oh shit, I put a 1, I guess. But like, it's always been ZÉ:FF ever since.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And the avatar you're in, why do you choose it? Why do you use it? Is there anything about it that means anything to you?
This is, if we would have had this interview like 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have been wearing this. But if we would have done this interview, what, 15 years ago? I would have had this. So back on PlayStation Home, for those who know, they know, it was like, so PlayStation Home was like the PlayStation version of Second Life.
Hmm.
Everything was made by like corporations, so if you want to buy a T-shirt, it's like either 5 cents or $3. And nobody, like not you and me, nobody made it. It was a corporate thing that happened. You go in their store, you buy that thing. Same thing as like buying an armor for your character in whatever game. That's how it ran. But it was a social game for the PlayStation 3. And I was on that thing religiously, just like I am on VRChat religiously. And I'm going to surprise you there, but I was role playing on that thing. And they released these things on like November 2013, I think, 2012, somewhere in there.
Hmm.
And they released these things. It was like a pack of four. You had 2 or 3 girls and 2 or 3 guys, so 4, 5, 6. I don't remember. It's been way too long. The point is, this was $10 a pop. And I was like, this is so expensive. What the hell? But when I saw it, I was like, I gotta have it. This is exactly everything I love. I don't know how you describe these shapes. They're not primitive, so they're definitely not crazy. And I love these paws, and I love cheetahs. I really like cheetahs, leopards. I love like big cats. And I was like, this is cool. I love robots. I'm cyberpunk. I'm sci-fi. It's a robot. It's got cool shape that are simple but not primitive. I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted. So I bought one. I bought specifically this one. And then PlayStation Home died in 2015 or something. And my $10 is gone, my avatar is gone, and gone to the wind. At the time, I had like a crappy desktop thing that was only good enough for, like if I wanted to write stuff for school. About the only thing it could do, and it took like a solid 5-10 minutes to turn on, much less do anything. So I went like a good while. I still had dial-up internet, so it's to tell you much. Whenever I wanted to play online, I had to dial up. So I get off the line. God damn it! But whatever. And I searched online for this, couldn't find it. Eventually, forgot about it. A couple years later, better internet, better this, better that. Keep looking online, can't find it. Years later, keep looking online, can't find it. Very recently, I don't remember how, it just came back into my mind. I was like, oh yeah, that thing was cool. I really missed that because once I bought this thing on PlayStation Home, I never took it off. This was me. Everybody that knew me there knew me as this. And I was like, I really missed that because up till now, whenever I found a cool avatar on VRChat, I grab it, I have fun with it for a little while, and then I'm like, whatever. I don't buy avatars. I have the knowledge to make them. I'm too lazy. Nothing's really fitting. I don't know what I want. I don't buy it. I don't make it. I just find a public. This is cool. A couple of weeks later, find another one. But I need the thing. So I don't know how it comes to my mind. I'm like, holy shit. What if I did another search? And I did. Couldn't find nothing. But then I found ChatGPT could actually track a Discord server that was recreating PlayStation Home with the assets of PlayStation Home. So I joined that server, and then they're like, yeah, we got a full cache. You just got to download it. Okay. Find the thing, download it. It's a weird text file. I got to download some seemingly shady software to convert this. I'm like, okay, hold on. What is this? So then I grab the file, and it's a mesh and textures. There's no weight painting, no bones, no animation, because right now you see the little gizmos fly. There's nothing. It's just the mesh and the textures. And I'm like, if there is one avatar I'm really willing to work on and for, despite Silky, because I made Silky because I kind of had to some degree, I was like, fuck it, Weeball. I am making this exactly as what it used to do. My eyes don't work and my lips don't work. That's not me being lazy. That's exactly how it was back then. And I was like, I could make them work, but that's not what I want.
Hmm.
So I legitimately recreated one of my earliest, best 3D roleplay social platform thingy McJigger, which was this. And now it's on VRChat. And I couldn't be happier. I'm always gonna be this from now on. I don't care. At least, if I'm not roleplaying.
Hmm.
Because this thing was called a Panabot. It was made just to make a buck. But for me, it's just everything I want. It's everything I. It's just cool, man.
Well, thank you for explaining that. It means so much. Honestly, earlier on, one of the questions I started growing as I began interviewing was, why do people represent themselves in VR the way they represent themselves? Why the name? Why the avatar? Why does this one person may want this one specific thing? And I think it's interesting to learn. Why do people choose to be what they be? So thank you for letting me hear yours. I think it's really awesome that you decide that this avatar from PlayStation Home. That's fucking awesome, dude. So thank you for your time coming on. Let us hear your tale. It's been an absolute amazing time. So thank you very much.
I had a good time. Uh, Thank you for having me. I won't lie, I was nervous as shit because it was either B or Z2. One of my buddies like, hey, you should go over there. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. And after a bit of prodding, like, okay, well, screw it, I guess. Let's go. We ball. I'm pretty happy I did. So thank you for coming here to this place.
No
Thank
problem.
you for the questions. And yeah,
No
I
problem.
sure had a good time.
I'm glad. I'm a world hopper at heart, so hearing your tale, hearing what Megabuilding is, and knowing one more world and one more VR chat group exists, and hearing and knowing what it is, honestly, is a guilty pleasure of mine. So thank you for allowing me to hear and fill out a little bit more of VR chat.
Awesome, awesome. Oh no, I forgot. I still haven't fixed this yet. I don't know how to fix it. But awesome, awesome.
If anyone in the audience wishes to reach out and find you or Megabuilding, where would they go?
um, I have made my way to the. I might botch the name. It's either VR Roleplay Repo or VRC Repo Roleplay. Those who know knows. I think it's pretty popular. It's definitely out there. It's got. Last time I checked, and that was like last year, it had like 50 plus roleplay servers on it. So it's definitely spreading out. Otherwise, um, you can come to this world, Megabuilding 325. From here, you can see my name because I'm the creator of it. I'm always representing Megabuilding. You can just join right in. Or I really don't have many simple ways to get here.
Well,
I got YouTube, but I can't recommend that.
why not? You put work into editing the videos.
uh, sure, I guess, but it's more. I don't edit them. I like to have, I do cut out whenever something personal happens, but I don't edit the video per se. Because what I really want, the reason why I originally started recording is because I keep forgetting things. I took a hit to the head. And I remember being on PlayStation Home and on Second Life and on IMView and on Tabletop. I remember having a good time. But if you'd ask me anything specific about it, I don't remember. I forgot all of that. I don't want this to be forgotten. So I'm recording it, I'm keeping it as raw as I can. I'm only cutting it if a player comes to me and tells me about this and that should not be part of a video. It's not edited. And for that reason, I'm not getting any followers and I don't care. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not doing this to be like the next Markiplier or whatever. I'm really just doing this for me in 10 years when I go, what was that like again? And then I can just watch those. So I want to be like, hey, just follow me on YouTube. It's ZİFF, Z1FF. You most likely won't find me because I don't really have any subscribers. But the link is there at every single of my Thursday videos because the sessions are on Tuesdays. I edit on Wednesday, post on Thursday. And the link is right there in the description, if you're able to find me.
Well, we'll make sure all of your links, VR chat groups, Discord, and the YouTube will be right there down there for you to find in the YouTube video. You scroll down to the video description, everything will be right there to find, and Spotify will be in the episode description. An easy place for you to find.
Awesome. That's definitely going to be the best way to find this place. Because otherwise, I haven't really spread my wings too far. I've been too busy making polygons.
Well, again, thank you for your time, and this is where we'll wrap up. And I'm going to give you a little advice ending instead of something goofy like Raptor does. When you start something, regardless of whatever it is, I would say stick it through, even if it's hard. Because sometimes the best times comes after when you want to quit. I can tell you, I've almost quit once, and then almost thought about quitting a bunch more times than that. And if I did that, I wouldn't be here with you today. So my advice to you, when you want to do something and it's hard, stick through it. It gets better. It always does. With that being said, see you in the metaverse, folks.